This is Danny Goffey.
Hello, and this is Gaz Coombes.
Well, that's, you know, from album to album, you know, we like to make different records, and it's kind of, you know, that they tend to imitate life and where the four of us are at that point in time, and the kind of little snapshots of that period. And yeah, it was a really kind of, this album was a really kind of energetic, exciting period, and a lot of troubles that we've had over the years had kind of gone away, and we went to Berlin, which was really vibey and exciting. So all of those things probably came onto the record, and that's kind of what it's like, really. You know.
In Berlin, it was a lot more organised. In France, we had our own. It was Gaz and Rob's kind of little barn house there, and so there was no rules or anything. So it was a bit more organised, this album, and we had a producer as well, Nick Launay, who produced it. And yeah, it's just more like doing a record. The last album kind of went on, and we were there for a few weeks, and we went home and came back and stuff like this. But this album we did at Hans Studios in Berlin. And it was just a 3.5 week period where we did the album. So it was a lot quicker, faster, and more sexy.
And kind of they had an urgency about it. I mean, it's two different ways of recording, really, and I love both ways of recording. You know, one, you can kind of get absorbed and kind of and sort of sprawling sort of ideas and sort of honing everything in. And with Diamond Hoo Ha, it's very much sort of focused, kind of, right, everybody knows what they're doing, let's go and do it really quick.
The sun goes down, I just can't resist, bite me. Gotta get you in my suitcase.
The songs kind of needed that urgency, the songs kind of deserve to have that sort of power, and you know, I mean, something like Bad Blood or Diamond Hoo Ha Man, you know, it needs to be delivered with kind of real rambunctiousness.
I think we really wanted to make an album that we could play the whole album live, pretty much, and we didn't really want to do an overproduced album. So yeah, it was important for us at the time. Yeah, to write an album that we could play live.
And I think again because the songs kind of dictated it, really. The songs were, you know, I don't know. We've recorded songs in the past that we can't really play live, and it doesn't make them any worse. It's just, you know, I suppose when you're in the studio, you do think about the music and what's best for the song. And sometimes what's best for the song is to have it as an enormous production with an orchestra. You know, but for this album, a lot of the songs, you know, deserve to be really kind of, yeah, straight up and kind of real punch.
Look, it's Road to Rouen was, you know, we're quite an honest kind of band, so we you know, we just sort of write music and do it how we kind of feel at that time. So maybe, I don't know, maybe looking back, it might have been better to do an album like this. But if you're in a certain state of mind, you know, you can't try to write songs that you're not feeling at the time, you know, or trying to be really energetic and really poppy and mad when you're kind of going through something as a band.
Road to Ruin's like a photo album. When you open it up, you see pictures of times, and like some of them are really sad, and some of them are beautiful, and you know, things remind me of my mum, you know, who's not with us anymore, and other things make me feel really sad. But I think that's beautiful. That's what you want from music.
We don't really tend to think about it at all. We don't really like to look back, apart from when we're doing interviews. We have to look back. But I'm really fed up of it, and you know, I don't really like looking back over stuff because, you know, I don't really listen to our albums at home, all the past albums. No, not really. So I don't really have much of a thought. It's more about you know, your own life experience over the last 10 years. It doesn't have to necessarily be your life in the band.
I love the White Stripes' new record, and Kings of Leon's new record's good, and Arctic Monkeys, a good band. MGMT just come out, good band. And then, of course, you know, still sort of bits of Bowie and...
I just listen to... When I really listen to music, it's stuff like... We've been DJing quite a lot, so you kind of find music that's really good to dance to, or has great riffs and stuff like that. And, you know, stuff like Talking Heads and Ian Dury, stuff like that. Well, we're going to tour this album.
We're going to America with the Foo Fighters for 4 weeks to tour with them, which will be
supporting
good.
Foo Fighters. A few great festivals in some strange places like Moscow. That's about it. Some other strange places that I cannot say yet. Yeah, and then we're going to start working on another album at the end of the year.